Hello friends, welcome back to another Valentine's Day Tumblr tutorial. In this video we're going to make a really cute kind of anti-Valentine's Day mug. So I've got a 12-ounce wine mug that I've spray painted with a regular pink spray paint, and we're going to do one glitter on this cup today. I know, insane. And to apply that glitter we're going to use UV resin. So I'm going to put a little bit of that on my tumbler, spread it out thinly and evenly. We're going to do the handle too. And the glitter I'm going to use is Love Island. This is an Olive's glitter outlet color, so you can get it on the Peachy Olive Glitters website. And this was one of the colors that was included in the January Peachy palette. So if you got the palette, you got this glitter. This is a super fine cut glitter, so we're just going to cover the entire cup with this, cure it under the UV lamp for probably about maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and then we can go right into our coats of epoxy. Because this glitter is such a fine cut, we don't need to seal it because there's no risk of anything like poking up or being super bumpy. So I'm going to cure the UV resin, like I said, in front of my lamp, and then I'm going to go in and add 2 coats of epoxy to the mug. I'm using the Flynn Sisters Fast Cure Epoxy, and each of my coats was only about 15 milliliters. Remember, this is a small tumbler, so you don't need a ton of epoxy. After those 2 coats, this is what my cup looks like. So again, it's pretty smooth because it's such a fine cut glitter. The only thing we really need to do before we add our decals is clean up the top rim of the cup. So I'm going to run my craft knife along that top rim, and then I'm going to sand down just the very top rim of the cup with an 80 grit sanding block. We want to expose that really thin line of stainless steel so that we can use that to form our final seal with our epoxy later. But before you put your decals on, you don't want to do any sanding on the body of your cup. These decals that we're going to use also came in the January Peachy palette, and they're clear decals, so they have a clear backing on them and around them. And if you put them on a sanded surface, those areas that are covered by the decal won't shine back up under epoxy, so you want to make sure that your cup is smooth and shiny before you add your decals. So as you can see, I'm just cutting all of these hearts out individually and placing them all over the mug. One thing you want to be careful of is placing them around the curve of your tumbler. So if you're using a straight tumbler, you don't have to worry about this, but if you have anything that has a curve on it, just be careful applying those because they're a little stiff and they don't really want to like super curve around the curve of your cup. So just be careful doing that, but I'm just going to continue cutting these out and placing them until I've got as much space on the mug filled up as possible. So here's what the cup looks like after all the hearts have been added, and now we're ready to go into another coat of epoxy. I'm still using the Flynn Sisters Fast Cure Epoxy for this coat, and I'm going to make this one about maybe 10 to 12 milliliters, and we are going to add some more glitter to this coat of epoxy. You guys didn't actually think I could only use one glitter on a cup, did you? Of course, if you don't want to add extra glitter to your cup, you don't have to, but I don't know. I have this like compulsive need to use as much glitter on tumblers as possible, so I'm gonna add more glitter. But of course, again, if you don't want to, you don't have to. So after this coat is on the cup and the cup has spun for maybe about 5 minutes, I'm gonna add 2 different glitters to the remaining amount of my epoxy, which is maybe 5 milliliters. So I've got Fillory and As If, both from Peachy Olive Glitters, and I'm gonna add a little bit of each of those into my remaining epoxy, mix it together, and then just really go ham putting it all over the cup. You can do a little bit of this glitter step, you can do a lot, whatever you want to do is obviously totally fine. I'm just going to put this all over the cup, including over the hearts. I wanted to add a lot more sparkle, so I really just went for it. So after that coat of epoxy was cured, I added one more super thin coat to the cup just to cover that glitter up a little bit. That coat was maybe 5 to 10 milliliters. And now we're ready to apply our decal. This decal is available on my website if you would like to use the same one. It does come with the offset. And now this decal I used on a Valentine's Day mug last year or 2 years ago maybe, and everybody really loved it. So I was like, I'm going to use it again for kind of an anti-Valentine's Day vibe here. So it says, why fall in love when you can fall asleep? So I'm going to, as you can see, take all of these super tiny pieces from the top portion of the decal, and I'm going to apply those by hand to the offset first. Then I'm going to apply the offset to my mug first, then we'll put the top layer on the same way that we normally do. So again, be careful when you are applying your decals to the curve of your tumblers. You just want to make sure that nothing gets like wrinkled or out of place or messed up as you go. So take your time, just be really careful as you do this. What I'm going to do around the curve of this mug is basically apply the whole top portion of the decal to the cup first. Then I'll peel up the transfer tape from the top portion of the decal, and that's going to give me a little bit more like flexibility in applying the bottom portion around the curve, if that makes sense. And you can kind of see what I mean here as I go. I've got that like flexibility because the transfer tape isn't stuck to the mug, so I can kind of place this bottom word and make sure that it's not wrinkled or messed up in any way. Now to apply the top portion of the decal, you guys know how I like to do it. I'm going to cut this into small sections word by word and just apply each word to the offset individually. Once your decal has been applied, you can add your final 2 coats of epoxy, and then this cup will be all done. So here is the final result. This is a super easy and fun tumbler to put together, and I really love how it turned out. I hope you guys do too. Of course, let me know what you think down below in the comments. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already so you don't miss any of my new videos. Thanks so much for watching as always, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, love you. Bye. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Made by Manny and Mal. You can join my mentorship group at the website on your screen. I'd love to have you in the Elite fam. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you are not already so you don't miss any of my new videos. And while you're here, here's another video for you to check out. I want to say a huge thank you to my channel members and my Elite fam members. You guys make this channel possible. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.